What were we talking about?
Ritz sweatpants.
Ritz?
I think there's different
Your
standards.
MO. Dating MO.
Oh, the dating
that.
MO.
How you
okay,
move.
look, you show up, like obviously dressed to the nines, in a flannel and sweatpants,
Get water.
and
You have the most impeccable timing. I always have to get up when you get up.
wait, what?
Water break.
Is
I'm listening,
are you
don't worry.
are you challenge? Is this a challenging conversation, Billy?
I'm listening.
Do you? You can't handle the flannel Ritz combination. Okay. Oh, Priya's going too. All right. Peace out, Priya. So, okay. You show up on time. Meet me there at 7. Boom. You know she's going to be late. So here's what you do. Here's the game plan, right? You tell the waiter. This is the gangster move. You tell the waiter or whatever. By the way, because you've already arrived early, you already asked for a drink. Give me a Merlot, whatever the fuck you want to drink, whatever. Give me a Merlot, sir, politely, please. Listen, Steve, the waiter. I want you to bring separate checks at the end. Boom, that's it. And then you pay. She orders whatever she wants.
I heard you say that. And
She
I feel
orders
like that's so terrible.
No, it's not terrible.
No?
She orders what she wants. You order what you want.
I mean, it's okay to go halfsies if you know, right? Like, if you're just like, hey, like, I'm paying for mine, you're paying for yours, right?
No,
But,
that's
like,
just
to
that's
be
my
black,
MO.
Like,
That's my MO on a date.
Yeah, but then when you find out a woman's true
what if
intentions?
she didn't have any money? Like, then what? What if she showed up and
It's
just
like
assumed
a
you were going to pay?
$10 drink. I mean, she's chilling.
Well, she's just broke and she just showed up.
she's-
What if she's one of those people that
I
showed
don't
up for the food?
date
Then
like
you would know.
Chris Brown. I don't date broke.
I'm not
Does somebody
saying
want to fill in the blank for me, please?
I'm not saying your
I can't say that.
philosophy is wrong. There's nothing like philosophically wrong with doing that. But based off the things that you say you want in a woman, I don't
what's
think
up?
you're gonna find the woman you want by doing things like that.
You'd be surprised.
Really, that's why. Are you in
Huh?
a nice, happy relationship right now? That's what
Listen, I can't.
those-
Whoa, hold on.
You put all of our lives on blast, but you
What do
want
you
to
do?
tell us if you're in a relationship on a dating podcast?
No, but
Like,
what's your point?
If you wanted a woman who was more dominant, headstrong, like making decisions, maybe more masculine, you will say that might work with her. She might love that and love to split the bill. But the women that you talk about you want a lot of the times, I think most women will see that and not like it. Not because you're a gold digger, but you talk about traditional women. I mean, on a first date, if I'm getting courted on this date, I would at very least expect you to pay for that one. I'm not saying for the paying for everything in the rest of eternity, but I don't think you're going to find your trad wife by...
Well, here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. Can you girls stop gossiping back there? And okay, it's a fair point. Fair point, right? Oh, Brian, you go on about wanting this and that, and but you don't even want to pay for the first date. So it's a fair argument. However, here's the thing, right? Is given the current landscape, I believe that you don't get the you don't get that sort of treatment until you are committed to me. Now, I would say 99% of women are not prepared to, let's not say commit, but are like fully single going into a first date. They're either on a dating app, they've got 10, 20, 30, 40 options that they're entertaining. Maybe they're sleeping with 1, 2, 3 other guys. So my whole thing is you don't get girlfriend treatment until you are you are my girlfriend.
But then when I, on a previous podcast, said that men shouldn't get husband treatment until they make me a wife, you said, well, then how will you ever get to that stage?
Mm-hmm.
So how will she ever get to that stage if you're showing her things that she doesn't like?
Yeah,
From
when
the jump.
When the question...
Well, but
You're saying that she doesn't get girlfriend treatment until she becomes a girlfriend.
correct.
I said that men shouldn't get husband or wifey, whatever, husband treatment until there's a ring on my finger. And you said, well, you'll never get to that point unless you start making
What is
changes
wifey? What
beforehand.
is wifey treatment to you? What does that mean?
I mean, I didn't really. Yeah, to me personally, I mean, I guess you will say like the cooking, cleaning, laundry, or whatever that sense. I don't really need a ring to do those things.
But I guess the differentiation I'd make here is
if you
when
want a trad wife, woman who's, homemaker, the traditional viewpoint, you're probably not going to get that by making her pay for her first date, is what I'm saying. So that's why I understand not taking her.
I'm cool with 50-50. Fuck it.
That's not bad. I could do that.
But here, okay, let me
mind.
add a bit of nuance. Fair
enough. Fair enough.
Let me add a bit of nuance, I guess, to this. I don't think I'm prepared. I'm not like going to provide off rip for a girl.
I'm not saying you should. It's
The
we're talking
providing-
about paying for like a $10 drink or whatever. I'm not saying that you take her on a date and then the next week you're paying her rent. I mean, that's not what.
So, like, what happens if, say, she wanted to buy you a drink, right, the first time, and then, like, she wants to go out a second time, so she's like, you know what, I'll get you this time, how about you pay next time? Would that be okay?
What's that?
Like, if she paid the first time and wanted to go on a second date, would you pay
Yeah,
for the
sure.
second date?
That's
not bad.
I also think the providing
It's not great, but it's not bad. It's okay.
financial provision in an era where women can financially
Mm-hmm.
provide for themselves is a massive, massive step. Like, you can still give a girl the wife, or you can give the girl the husband treatment, everything outside of the money, right? You can still give him the wifey treatment, everything outside of taking the provision. Like, I think we can both agree, like, there's massive things to a relationship, to masculinity and femininity outside of the provision of resources. It's a huge element. And I do think that there is something to a man being able to, and this is one of the things I talk about a lot, I say men need to figure out how to showcase the characteristics that get them to buy into the fact that you can be a provider. So to Brian's point, if you're able to provide for yourself, but you're not ready to commit to him, if we can just throw provision to the side and then focus on the other aspects of the audition, let's say, we should be able to do that in this particular era, especially where women are talking about how they're equal, right? Especially on that particular front.
I think she was saying more so if I don't know who you would prefer, like a traditional wife versus, a more worldly wife. I don't know, but from
Liberal,
yeah, there we go.
Woke.
But from the traditional standpoint, we are tending to look for guys who would be willing to pay for that. So I feel like what you were saying is that if you're not willing to pay for the first dates, then you're probably not going to attract the women that you desire for.
I actually disagree. I think my unwillingness, now granted, and I've said this many a times because this topic comes up frequently, this loses me women. Or, well, perhaps it does, but it'll certainly lose other men, women, if they don't pay for the first date. So I don't recommend, this isn't like some dating coach advice, and I don't bill myself as a dating coach. I don't recommend men, because it's not going to do you any positives to not pay. It's either, if you pay for the date, it's either neutral or positive. Whereas if you don't pay for the date, it's never positive. It's either neutral or negative. So gentlemen, if you're watching, don't do this. I wear fucking sweatpants and flannels to first date. So, take that into consideration. But I would actually argue that of the women that still want to date me after I am not prepared to pay for them, they're actually really, really into me. So, or they might be into, well, not necessarily, but it's a screening mechanism whereby the girls that aren't cool with me not paying, because a lot of women will break all these rules. Like do you think a girl, like if she meets her celebrity crush or whatever, granted he may very well have the resources to provide for her exceptionally, do you think like she needs her celebrity crush to like be paying for all this shit? No. I think Andrew Tate often, and I don't like that he uses Chris Brown as the example, but he's like, do you think a girl cares if, do you think she's going to expect Chris Brown to pay for her? Now, I don't think Chris Brown is a great example because of his previous DV situation with fucking Rihanna. So I think you could replace Chris Brown with someone, I don't know, who's like a dude that chicks fucking fawn over.
Drake.
Hemsworth brother.
Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, like, I think a lot of women,
I don't know.
if their ideal man was like, yeah, I don't really want to pay for you, I'll pay for myself. Like, they're going to be like, they're going to tolerate that
They're
sort of
going
thing.
to change their rules.
Yeah, they're going to break their rules
Yes.
of the guy needs to pay for the first date. I just think it's a screening mechanism because
They're
like,
they're not disregarding though because they really like this guy. It's because he's rich and famous, which is two different things. It's not looking for love. It's looking for a leg up in the world somehow. If I was on a date with a man who was obvious, it wasn't like a hidden thing. He was known that he was either rich and successful, and he didn't pay for me. I would think that they're a loser. I would think that they're a bum. It's like I would think either it's a facade that they're putting on and they truly can't afford, even though it is a great money saving tactic to keep your expenses low. But no, it would change it for me. I would honestly, they would no longer be my celebrity crush. I would have been like, wow, this guy is a real loser. Sorry. I mean, you're rich and you can't even pay for my
it's not about the
$20
money.
meal.
It's about the principle.